Okay, back I am, guys. Hi, guys. How are y'all doing? Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you're having a good President's Day, whatever. Anyway, welcome. I wanted to make this video about dating and what you want. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I'll start with me. I stopped dating years ago, because for one thing, I didn't like the crazies I met, or the weirdos, or the just whatever, downers, you know what I mean? I just stopped dating years ago. I got tired of it all. And now that I'm older, I got to thinking about what I would want if I did start dating again. And I definitely have decided that I do not want that whole pomp and circumstance thing of, you know, you meet a guy and your first thought is to get totally dolled up, you know, just dolled up, go buy fancy clothes, fancy dresses, you know, fancy heels, and do that hair and makeup like a movie star, that type of thing. No, I don't want that, guys, because you know what? That's not me every day. No, that's not going to be me every day. I'm not some woman from Dallas or Dynasty, and you guys in my age group know what shows I'm talking about. No, I'm not going to be dressed like that every day. And I guess what it is I want it to be, if I do meet somebody again, the other thing that I'm not willing to play games with is that whole thing of when you meet somebody and then you sit around, you're the woman waiting for the guy to call, and what is it, like 3 days? Wait 3 days before you call, because if you do it sooner, you sound like you're desperate. I have to totally disagree with that. Completely. I don't know how that stupid rule got started. I think it's absurd. I want it to be where I meet a guy, and this may be an impossible dream, but I'm putting it out to the universe. You never know. But this is my dream of meeting the right guy. I want to meet a guy that when we meet and we start talking to each other, we know we like each other. Okay, you know when you like somebody. I mean, come on, let's get real. You know when you like somebody. And I want it to be where we meet and we're talking and we realize we really like one another. And I want it to be, oh, there's that heater. Hold on. I can't believe this. I forgot to lower it, guys. Sorry. But this heater is just so loud. I don't know why. But it is. Anyway, as I was saying, I want it to be where we meet. Oh, I love my comfy pillow. And we're talking, we know each other, we're getting to know each other, we like each other, we're comfortable with each other. And he immediately shows interest in me. Immediately shows interest by asking me out right there again. Just an immediate, hey, like say I'm with a guy and we just met and we've been talking for a while, we like each other. I want to hear something like, hey Lori, I really like you, and I was thinking maybe we should get together this Saturday for like pizza or something simple. I want it simple. I don't want this whole show that people put on when they go out on dates. I think it's really deceiving, because nobody is what they're putting out there when they go on these fancy dates. I just don't buy into that at all. I want it to be where he's like, hey, seems like we get along. Would you like to go out Saturday night? Pizza, or maybe go to some coffee shop and, just get a little bite to eat there or something. Something simple, not a major, fancy dinner type of thing. Just something to where he shows interest right away. I'm too old and I don't think any woman should sit around waiting to see if some guy calls. I'm sorry, that's just my thinking. If you like somebody, then make the move and let them know right away. You know, and this whole business of waiting for the man to make the move, that's got to go. I mean, that's got to go. It's like, as women, why should we sit around waiting for days to see if some guy's going to call us? That's absurd. That's ridiculous. I say if you like each other, have the whatever to say as a woman too, to say, I like you. Would you be interested in going out, say Saturday night or whatever? And you'll know by his reaction right away if he's really into you or not. You know that old movie, He's Just Not That Into You? You'll know right away by his facial expression, the way he looks at you with his eyes, everything. You'll know like that. The minute you ask him if he hesitates or whatever, then you know he's like, I don't know. Because I just think it's ridiculous to play that silly, stupid waiting game. I'm not going to do that anymore. I will never do that again. It's like, you're either interested in me and want to get to know me. What is 3 days going to make a difference of? No. You know each other. You're getting to know each other. You take the time to really talk. I don't mean go and meet somewhere for 20 minutes. I mean spend a couple, 2-3 hours, say, at wherever you're going to meet up, but make it casual so you can be yourself. I don't like that whole thing of dressing up to the nines and, excuse me, you know, presenting yourself in this, like I say, pomp and circumstance way. I don't like that. Because to me, that keeps a person from really being themselves. You know, from really just being relaxed and casual and getting to know somebody. If you go with that mindset of getting totally dolled up all the time, it's kind of a fake persona. You know what I mean? Unless you're actually going to dress up like that every day. It's kind of a fake persona. Now, I'm not saying don't get dressed up if you guys decide to go to a nice dinner after you've got to know one another and he's going to take you to a nice place. Yeah, of course. But to me, the getting to know each other process should happen before you do anything that's really more extravagant, like a really fancy dinner place or a really fancy outing type of thing. To me, that should not be part of the equation at all, until you've decided you really like one another and you can just be comfortable with one another. And I mean that in every way, where once you've met each other several times, you're comfortable just inviting each other to each other's house, you know, to your apartment, wherever. And of course, always be careful. Be sure you get to know that guy really well. Maybe even Google him and check him out. But once you've gotten comfortable where you can say, hey, you want to come over Saturday night? Let's watch a movie. You know, that type of thing, where you're really comfortable with one another and have gotten to know each other in a very casual setting where you can be yourself. And where you can find out what he's all about too. Because too many times these guys will put off to be like they really care about you when they really only want one thing. And we know what that is. So it's important to me to go through that casual stage before getting to anything fancier. That way, in my mind, it's like, okay, I want to see what he's like if, say I tell him I'm not feeling well. I'm sick and I don't feel well for whatever reason. I want to see what he does. Does he offer to help? Does he offer to do anything for me? Or does he just say, oh, I'm so sorry, well, you know, let me know when you're feeling well, when you're feeling better. That's the case, he's out the door. I want to find out what he's like before I start doing more important, extravagant, fancier things together. You see what I'm saying? Because when you start doing the fancier, more, what do you call it, personal stuff together, I want to know that the guy I'm doing that with is someone who actually cares about me, not someone who's just using me for a date that night or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want to see what he's really all about. See what he's like if I were to say some, you know, before the fancier stuff starts. I want to get to know this guy personally. I want to see him as he is. I don't want to see him just presenting himself at his best. And I don't want to just be presenting myself at my best all the time, because to me that's just fake. And it's uncomfortable. Like when I was dating this one guy, oh God, I dated my divorce attorney, and he was wealthy. Every date he showed up in his Armani suit and $800 leather, Italian leather shoes, which he didn't mind bragging about. Yeah, every date it was a fancy designer suit and tie, the whole bit. And so I felt obligated. Okay, I've got to totally do myself up completely, you know. I felt obligated to do that every time we went out. So it got to the point that I'll never forget that Friday night when he called. He was on his way back from Santa Fe. And he called and he says, hey, I know it's short notice, but, or what I'm saying is, when I saw him on the caller ID, it was his name on the caller ID, I literally went, oh God, it's him. And that's when I realized, my first thought was, oh, that means I have to get all dressed up, I have to do, you know, I have to do blah, blah, blah. And then when I picked it up, he was just like, hey, I know it's a late notice, but I thought we could go out tonight for a drink and this and that, whatever. I immediately was like, oh crap. I don't want that. I don't want that feeling ever again. I want somebody who, let's say that was another guy, and he calls up and say it's Friday and it's a last minute type of thing. Hey, I was wondering, hey, you want to get together tonight? What do you want to do? Hey, come on over, let's watch a movie, or let's go get some Chinese food, or you know, something simple and enjoyable. I don't want that. I don't. Maybe it's just me, guys. I know there are women out there who, to them, the fancier the better for dates. I'm not that way. I don't want it to be that way. I want it to be where if I'm dressed like I am now, just casual, and he wants to go, I don't know, just go hang out, go do whatever, maybe go to his place, I'm fine as I am. I don't have to go buying dresses and buying fancy clothes and buying this and buying that to impress him. I don't want that. I absolutely don't. I'm not saying dress like a slob and look like you didn't even brush your hair when you rolled out of bed. No, I'm not saying that. But I don't want to have to go through what I did with that when I was dating that attorney. That was awful. I got to where I dreaded his phone calls because I knew, oh, he'll show up in his designer suit and shoes, in his Porsche or his Jag. I have to get all dolled up. That's what I felt. That's how I felt, that I needed to do that. I didn't feel like I fit in with him if I didn't. I don't want that ever again. And I want it to be to where when if I should start dating again, which I don't know, doesn't seem to be the case of happening. I haven't dated in many, many years, because I got fed up with the fools that I met, and then I just stopped trying. I was like, I'm done. So now I'm at a point where if someone's supposed to be in my life, they'll come into my life, and that's that. I'm not out looking for anybody anymore. It's over. I mean, what is it, you guys? What do you guys like, or what do you want when you maybe first start dating somebody, or you are dating somebody? I don't want it, guys. I just don't want that whole, I feel I have to become this other person for those 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever that date is. I don't want that. And that's what it felt like to me. I always felt I had to be, I had to be on, you know, I had to be on. And I don't want that anymore. And I want a guy to show interest in me right away if he likes me. If I met a guy and we liked each other and he says, well, I'll give you a call, I'm not sitting around waiting for that call. No, I'm sorry. That's too childish to me. It's way too childish. To me, a guy should say, I really have enjoyed being with you. Would you mind if I called you, tomorrow night or Thursday night or whatever, a specific time, not just I'll call you. Like you're this whatever in waiting to see if this guy graces you with his call. No, I'm sorry. That will be an instant turn off for me. I don't like it. I think it's foolish. Now if I met a guy and we were talking and he says, Lou, I really enjoyed talking with you. How about I call you Thursday night? I'd be like, that's great. I'd like that. That I would like. That I would like. But if he just said, I'll call you, that I won't like. Because it's like, no. No. I am not just sitting back as this helpless little princess waiting to see if some guy's going to call me. No, I'm not doing that. No. You either show interest in me or move on. I think I don't know who started that whole 3-day rule of wait 3 days before you call or you're going to sound desperate. No, I disagree. You set a time right away with somebody and that shows you're truly interested. Truly interested. And to me that's important. To feel like, wow, this guy really liked me. He wants to see me right away or he wants to call me right away. I don't look at that as desperation. I don't know how that got started, how that whole thing got started. To me, desperation is, okay, you're on a date and he says, let's say your date ends at 9 o'clock and he says, okay, I'll pick you up tomorrow morning for breakfast. Now that would be a little much, but yeah, that would be like, whoa, But if it was like, say you went out on a date, say a Friday night, and he really likes you, or you meet for the first time on a Friday night and he likes you, I think the most gallant thing a man could do would be to say, I really liked, our time to this evening. Would you like to get together again? And then if you're with that, you say, well, yeah, that'd be great. And to me, for him to turn around and say, well, when would you like to get together? Oh, to me, that would be heaven. That would just be heaven, like, he's considering me and when I want to get together with him. Not me sitting around with this whole dating rule thing of the woman waiting for the guy to call. No. I would love it if a guy said that. If he's like, well, when would you like to get together? That to me would be such a wonderful gesture from a man. It would make me feel so special. It really would. Because then it makes me feel like he's so interested in me that he's willing to let me figure out what day we get together. And to me it would just mean a lot. It would mean so much. Rather than me sitting there thinking, I hope he calls, and then when he does call, well, I was thinking we could get together, I don't know, next Saturday night. Does that work for you? I don't want that feeling. I do not want that feeling of sitting around, oh, I hope he calls. I wonder if he's going to call. Oh, he hasn't called yet. We're going on the 3rd day now since we met and he hasn't called. I guess he doesn't like me. Maybe he doesn't like me. I don't want to go through that. I'm too old for that. I mean, guys, I'm going to be 69 in April. 69 years old. So if I meet a guy, hey, we don't have a whole lot of time as it is. I mean, we just don't, let's face it. But regardless of the age, I don't like that whole thing of the way it's been where women sit around waiting to see if the guy's going to call. I just don't like that. I think, to me, it's like a guy saying, well, I'll decide if I think you're worth it or not. No thanks. Don't want that. Don't want that at all. I want to know after that first meeting, which has to be for a while, can't just be a quick half-hour coffee thing, has to be a while to sit and talk and get to know one another. And if he's not willing to do that, then I wouldn't be willing to get to know him any other way. It's just like like say you're a woman and you meet another woman and you think, I really liked her, I want to be friends with her. And you sit and you talk and you talk and you talk and you talk. That's what I want with a guy. Where I meet him and I'm comfortable with him. And like you met that woman and you have a new friend, you're just sitting talking and talking. And you're like, I really enjoyed this. Let's make plans to get together. And you say, yeah, how about, and you start talking about things you like to do to get, to do that you could possibly do together as girlfriends. Well, that's what I want in a guy too. Somebody that I can sit and talk and get to know right away and decide right there, I like this guy. And if he gave me the option to choose to go out, when to go out, that would make me feel really special. Guys, I'm just not into that whole game playing that dating became. It's been around forever. I mean, it's been around forever. The whole dating game, I'm not into that. And I want somebody I can be myself with. I've watched videos of older women who they're talking about going out on a date. They are out buying fancy this and fancy that, fancy dress, going to get their hair done, their nails done, their this done, they're just doing all this stuff. And I'm like, if you can't just be yourself with this guy on your first date together, then to me that's the wrong person. That's just my personal view. I know everybody has their own opinions, but to me that's my personal opinion is if you can't just be yourself, where you can go just dress casually but look nice and neat and clean. If you can't do that, if you feel you have to go get all this stuff done before you meet this guy or go out with this guy for your first date, well, to me that's just, I don't know, there's something very fake about that. Very, I've watched videos where they'll be talking about, oh, I'm going to go get a new dress, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. I want to impress him. I want him to see how, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. If he's not going to like you wearing what clothes you already have, if he's not going to like you dress the way you want to dress for that first date, then I think you have the wrong guy. I'm sorry. I mean, for me personally, that first casual date, I'd be dressed casually, and I'd expect him to be too. Maybe just wear jeans or slacks and a shirt, just casual, no big deal. I don't want some guy showing up in a designer suit and shoes and making it seem like tonight we're going to a Hollywood gala, No. Because to me that puts pressure on a couple that keeps you from really being you, being who you really are. I mean, think about it. If you have a good friend and you're hanging out together and you're able to laugh and talk about anything you want, and, you're just yourself. You're just yourself. To me, that to me is the most important thing. To just be able to be myself and not feel like I have to go get my nails done, my hair done, go get a facial, go buy a new dress, go buy new shoes, go buy a new purse, go get new makeup, go do, all that stuff that I've seen some of these women do, especially the older women. Man, it's just like, if this guy, if you're an older woman and you feel you have to completely do all this stuff to yourself to be attractive to this man, then to me it's all a big lie. It's a lie. Unless you're going to doll yourself up every single day, which I refuse to do. I will not do that. I went through that when I was dating that one guy, the attorney. I went through that. And I always felt like I had to be on, because I felt like, oh, I don't know when he's going to call. I don't know when he's going to call. Maybe he'll want to just go for a quick drink or a quick whatever. I always felt like I had to be on. No, I want to be to where if it's a no makeup, no do anything to my hair day, and he calls and says, hey, I thought I'd just come by, maybe bring something up to eat, I'm comfortable in saying fine. and not having to do myself up. That's what I'm looking for, and I put that out there because I'm never going to do that whole dating game thing again, presenting myself in a way that's not really me all the time. And I think that changes your personality too, in the way of how you act, you know. Oh, I'm at my best tonight, you know. Got my beautiful clothes on, got my hair done, my makeup done, everything's perfect. No, 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 no. I want to be myself. And if he doesn't like me just as I am, then obviously he's not the right guy. And if a guy can't see you without your hair and makeup done and still like you, then you're only fooling yourself. Unless you're going to have a full set of makeup on 24/7, you got the wrong guy. And there are guys out there who they want you dolled up and made up all the time, and I'll be damned if anybody's going to make me feel like I have to be like that all the time. They don't have to be putting on makeup and doing their hair and getting their nails done and doing all that stuff now, do they? They shower, brush their hair, maybe shave, and they're done. You like them just as they are. They're not sitting there putting makeup on and looking perfect every single day. They're who they are. So I want to be able to feel like I can be who I am and be comfortable in knowing that he likes me just as I am. Calls me up, say it's a Friday, say we hadn't made plans for Friday. He calls me up and says, I thought I'd come over this evening just to hang out. I'd be, yeah, come on over. I'm not going to go rush and put makeup on and do my hair and everything perfect, because if I do, then that means that he is not the right guy. And if he can't love me and accept me or like me just as I am, not the right guy, guys. Not the right guy. So anyway, I just had to bring that up because I saw two young girls in Target. Yet I was in Target this weekend, and one of them actually asked the other one, when are you going to start dating again? I love to listen to people out in public. And she's like, I'm done. I can't. And the other one was like, you haven't dated in a long time, dude. You know, and the other one's like, dude, I don't want to date. I'm sick and tired of the games. I just don't want to play them. I don't know when I'll date again. And boy, do I get how she felt. I really do. And they went on talking about it. And that just got me to thinking about it, what I would want at this age in my life, and pretty much every woman girl should want in her life when she's dating. So anyway, just had to get that off my chest, guys. After hearing that conversation, I was like, oh, I know how she feels. So how do you feel about dating, and what do you want out of it, and what do you expect? Anyway, have a good one, guys. I will talk to you in my next video. So, come here, baby. Come here. Say goodbye, Lily. Say goodbye. I wish Pixie would come up, but she doesn't. She's too comfy on the couch when I start recording. So, Lily will say goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, no dog spit. Anyway, guys, take care. See you later.